Welcome back, people. Hello, hello, hello. It is Sunday, so that means it's the Endgame. Sponsored to you, brought to you by Family Talk. Let's discuss it. You know this face. You know who I be. I'm America's favorite uncle, Uncle Pudge. And today it's solo time because your favorite cousin, America's favorite cousin, Jody. He's not here. He was on vacation. He's out of town. He actually will be just landing in a few minutes. And then not your average chef, Chef Jimbo, definitely he couldn't make it tonight either. So it's your boy. We flying solo with me. So tonight, what we're going to be doing, I'm expecting a special guest, waiting for him to come in. So tonight's broadcast, we're going to focus on the past two great fights that happened last weekend, Canelo versus Bivol, and last night, Charlo versus Castano, my bad, the number two. So we're going to jump right into it. Now, last week, everybody's favorite boxer in the world, Canelo Alvarez, got schooled by Bivol. Now, if you didn't see the fight, it was a clinic. Everybody thought Canelo was going to win, and Canelo, moved up in weight, I guess, and thought, oh, well, this is just going to be another easy payday. Nope, didn't happen. Canelo lost. Bivol has been victorious, and it was a shock, I guess you can say it shocked the world. Now, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I personally don't think Canelo was that great. He ran from people and everything, so it caught up with him. To me, it caught up with him. So he gets dog walked. He gets taken to school, and now his fans can't handle it. Which is, the narrative for him was, oh, he's the best pound for pound. He only had one loss on his record, and that came from Floyd Money Mayweather. People even say, oh, when he fought Floyd, he was too green, he was too young. No, Floyd just took that boy to school, and then we got to see it again last week. So, for all you Canelo fans, so sad. Your boy lost, but he gonna get a rematch. I think in the rematch, same thing gonna happen to him. Because once you puncture that air of invincibility, that's it. That's all. Now your confidence is shaking. So we seen it with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury shook his confidence. Deontay Wilder haven't been the same. So looking forward to that rematch. And if Bivol, my bad, does it again, then there's nothing left to say about that. Now let's move on to last night's fight. Jumeirah Charlo versus Castano. Oh my God. What a fight that was last night. I watched it from beginning to the end. And when I say a clinic, I'm talking about not only was it a clinic, but it was a really, really exciting, great fight. My takeaways from that was we got two warriors whose styles fit each other that will give the audience and the viewers at home an exciting, great fight. Jumeirah Charlo, that man is the truth. When he was in there and his counter punching and his head moving was awesome. Castano had some power in that right. And I mean, he tagged Charlo a few times, but Charlo with his head moving and his counter punching, oh man, that left hook was getting its money off. I mean, every time Castano pressed the action, he was pressing the action. Charlo was great body movement, great head movement, great counter punching. Last time they fought, Charlo fought off the ropes a lot. This time he said he wasn't going to try to go to the ropes, and he did a good job not trying to go to the rope, but keeping the action off the ropes in the center of the ring. And then next thing you know, as he kept trying and trying and trying, Castano, boom, he gets tagged. Boom, boom, gets tagged again. Boom, boom. Now, the fight ends in a KO, TKO. Charlo caught the man. First time he dropped him. Caught him with a left. And I mean, when he hit him with the left, Castano was still standing there. And he wouldn't, look like he went to take a step, but he crumbled. Boom, 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 like delayed knockdown. I was like, oh, he gets up. Charlo smells blood in the water. Goes after him. Hit him. Face shot. Bam, caught him. Hit him in the body with that left hook. Boom. Man fell. Hit the ground. Couldn't beat the count. One getting up. Ovey. Very exciting. And now Charlo is the undisputed champion at 154. The first time that's ever happened in the history of the 154 division. The man got all the belts. What's next for Jumeirah? Who knows? I don't know, but it will be very exciting. And that will finish. We're finished right there with our boxing segment. Like I said, my co-hosts are busy and tied up. But I can talk boxing all day. But I won't. Because I know you guys want some more sports news. Let's go straight to the NFL with this. Okay, so now the suspense is over for one of the top free agent wide receivers out there, Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry finds himself a New Orleans Saints. Now, is it me, or does it seem like New Orleans is signing everybody? First, the Honey Badger. Now, Jarvis Landry. This is New Orleans is actually giving Jameis Winston all the tools he needs to succeed, which is fine. But it's still Tom Brady's division. I don't care what you say. You got to go through Tampa if you want to win something. Now, I'm excited about it. A lot of people say the potential offensive lineup, with Landry, then you throw in Michael Thomas, which I do not believe Michael Thomas is coming back to New Orleans. And I think that's why they, signed Jarvis Landry, because maybe they're figuring the same thing. Who knows? But we're going to see what the New Orleans offense looks like with all these weapons they surrounded with Jameis. There was a rumor that they're going to move, forgot my man Taysom Hill, they're going to move him to tight end. So I think that would be a mistake to move Taysom Hill to a position. I think they should continue to use him as they've been using him as a gadget player, moving them all over, creating mismatch, just a weapon, Weapon X. We can call him Weapon X, because X stands for that X factor. But it's going to be serious down in New Orleans. Serious. As for the rest of that division, it comes and goes through Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, Tom, terrific, or we should call him Tom the Recruiter, because that's what that man does. He goes out there and he recruits. Heard the man reached out to Julio Jones. Now, can you imagine Julio Jones in Tampa Bay, man, let's stop playing. What that would look like, Julio, and then think about it. A situation like that for Julio, where he doesn't have to be the main guy or even the second guy. So with his injury history, you limit his snaps, and still maximize his effectiveness. And think about it, Julio, playing a whole season, being available for the playoffs. Oh my goodness, what a run that would be. Tampa Bay would look ugly. Ugly. I can't wait to see when Julio drops, because that's the other domino. Now, I could talk about the moves that my Chicago Bears have made, stacking up these wide receivers Ty Sharp. I like him because I like his name. Kept an eye on him. Think he's a decent receiver. He'll find a role in our offense. And Pettis, that we got Pettis, and it's like, okay, man, you keep signing all these. I understand you're trying to build depth, but the purpose to me of building depth is that if your starter goes down, one of your top two or three go down, it's not that far of a drop off in talent level that you can plug and play and not miss a beat. Now, these cats, I'm just saying, I don't see them really making it out of camp. That's just me. Other than that, with the signing of Nathan Peterman, it's Peterman, quarterback, trash. I don't know it's trash. I'm just gonna say that like that, man. Nothing in what I've saw of this kid in his limited career says competent backup that if the first two guys go down, we can split a 4-game series. Like, not series, 4-game stretching our schedule 2-2 with this guy. Trey Simeon, yeah, maybe. But Nathan Peterman? No, not at all. But hey, what do I know, right? I've only been living football, I don't know, since I was 2 and I'm 45. I don't know anything. So, but you're looking around the NFL, June is approaching, mini camps. They're already starting, I guess, later this month. Before you know it, it will be the main camp. So we're going to see how everything shakes out, by then. Story in the news, of course, resurfacing. Once again, is Colin Kaepernick trying to get back into the NFL. And I'm saying that's fantastic. He's getting a lot of traction. I guess he got a lot of support behind him. Players saying a lot of things, some GM saying some things about, he should be in the league and everything. He's 35. He hasn't played a snap of ball for, 6 years, 7 years? And he looks good in his throwing sessions and everything. I don't understand why he won't get an opportunity. The Raiders even said, Raiders owner Mark Davis said he absolutely loves him. He wished he was on his team. And I look at that as nothing but lip service because you're the owner. How do you wish somebody was on your team and you own the team, but he's not on your team? I guess he's saying he lets the GM do his job. One thing I know about the Raiders is if Al Davis, may he rest in peace, was alive, Colin Kaepernick would have been on the Raiders a while ago. Because he has that Raiders profile, I guess, as outcast, outlaw, rebel type deal on there a long time ago. Can't wait to see how that shakes out for Colin, because I personally believe the man should get an opportunity to play. I mean, when you look at it, what did he really do that was wrong? The man had no character problems, no off-field issues, nothing. But you have people right now in the NFL, who have done some egregious things and will get and have gotten second, third chances. It's take the Raiders, Henry Ruggs, young guy, made a mistake that cost a woman her life and her dog, wrecked his life in the process, But yet, when all his legal troubles are over, somebody's going to give him an opportunity. You take Deshaun Watson. Now, I wasn't there, but 22 massage therapists. I need a massage therapist, but not 22 of them. My body don't hurt that bad. But, with all his legal troubles, because he's talented, Cleveland gave him a chance. People was wanting him, fighting and clawing and scratching for him. So with all these talented people, so on and so forth, the latest is Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out the Broncos, had a disagreement with his child's mother. He was charged with something. It was a misdemeanor. It's hard to explain, but he locked her wallet in the car, would give it to her. Some type of domestic violence interference, whatever they called it. He's out on bail. But the point is, we having these players, right now currently in the NFL, getting in trouble, running afoul of the law, but they're getting all these chances, whereas Kaepernick did none of those things. All he did was bring awareness to a situation that needed light shined on it. And for that, they punished him, blackballed him, and banned. Yes, he sued his company, and they settled with him because it wasn't because they didn't want to drag it out. It's because the man hit the dude, had a pretty good case and was going to expose them. Now people, well, you can't sue your company, can't sue your job and expect it. Well, yeah, you can. You can sue your job and still work there. They can't deny you that. But, this is not a regular 9 to 5. This is a job where you get paid millions of dollars to entertain people. If there was something wrong with it, there's something wrong with it. He pointed out they colluded against him. Well, he said this, that, and the other. Why would he want to do that? Why would he want to play for them? The man loves competition. Then you got people, well, he should go to the XFL and prove to him, or the CFL. Why? Why would you want to do that? Why should he have to do that? He has performed at the highest level in his profession. He's taken his team to the Super Bowl, and it was one controversial non-call, which is pass interference, away from winning the Super Bowl. Now, how many quarterbacks have that on their resume that's currently playing right now? Excuse me. You look at, once again, you take a look at my Bears. You got Trey Simeon, and then you got Nathan Peterman, my bad. Colin Kaepernick is better than both of them put together. Even Colin Kaepernick said he would take a backup role. You know, so it's something that's mind-boggling, but something to keep a eye on as we come up to camp, and we'll see if there's any movement on that front. So that would be it, people. That is a recap of the highlights of sports. Hey, Nick, how you doing, man? I'm just in here holding down the fort. Jimmy was supposed to come on, but couldn't make it. So, I've got to take it over. I've got to be himself. I've got to, steer the ship. And right now, I know baseball. We got any baseball enthusiasts, feel free to reach out. I can talk baseball too, but it's early in the season. I really don't pay attention to baseball till after the All-Star break. I mean, it's 162 games. Got time. But, right now for baseball, trying to figure out what's wrong with my White Sox. It's they was picked as one of the favorites to win the World Series. Oh, no. Well, Nick, we done on the other ones for the season. But with Endgame, sports never's done. We may not do it as much, but, we'll do one every once in a while. Couldn't be done, man, with them 2 mega fights that just happened. And, the NBA playoffs are going on, sorry, for all you enthusiasts of basketball. NBA is going on. Miami Heat, they have advanced. Bucks and Celtics, game 7 tonight. What was that? Suns and Dallas, game 7. Golden State is in the Western Conference Final. Remember I said weeks ago, Golden State will be in the finals. It'll be the Bucks and Golden State. Look like Uncle Pud's prediction might be coming true. Because I got the Bucks to pull it out over the Celtics. That's going to be, man, it's exciting. I love the playoffs. It's exciting and it's beautiful because some bum in LA ain't in there and everybody ain't talking about them. That's the most beautifulest part of it all. That's the Lakers. Some bum that want to wear 23 and, mess up the number. He ain't there. He ain't been there, and that's beautiful. Because, when the finals happen, he'll be watching like everybody else, and he won't be there. Bravo, NBA. Anyway, that's our show for this evening. Please tune in next time for the Endgame, where we will have all the latest sports news going around. MLB, NBA, NFL, boxing, hell, even hockey. The hockey playoffs is going on. But also be on the lookout as we will have our 2nd annual Family Talk Fantasy Football League draft. Feel free to reach out if you want to join and be a part of the action. It was a very fun time. We will be doing it live for you fans so y'all can see and experience Family Talk, how we get down with the football draft. Last year, Coach A won it, walked away with the belt. This year, hey, I'm coming for the top spot. I have to have a belt because football, I don't lose 2 years in a row. Didn't make the playoffs last year. I blame it on Julio Jones. But that's neither here nor there. So with that being said, it's America's favorite uncle, Uncle Pudge, and he's saying peace, love, and recycle. And don't forget, if nobody loves you, who loves you, baby? Uncle Pudge loves you. Oh, my God. Here goes my man, Ernest. You finally made it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I got hurt at work today, so I'm on these pain pills. So if I go in and out, it's because of these pills. What's going on, dog?
Oh, nothing, man. I was saying, man, I was up here by myself.
Man, I won't go leave you. I know I give you my word. I'm gonna get in.
I thought we was having trouble getting back in, but I started off by talking about the last 2 weekends of fights. I don't know if you're into boxing like that, but
man, they can.
I know.
It down when Tyson retired. Man.
I feel you, man. But then I was talking about the NFL, as usual, the moves, Jarvis Landry landing with the Saints.
I like that one. That's his hometown too, right? He went home.
I think so, yeah, because, he played at LSU.
Right, him and Honey Bag both from went there. So I think that was
Which makes me wonder, will Odell go over there now because they all played at LSU?
That's a great question because he out there with nobody wanting him, no fillers. So I see that as a possibility, unless he want to go back to LA, loving that LA life.
Well, he did tear his knee up, so it gotta wait a year. So that was in February. Man, that's why ain't nobody signed him because he won't be available to play till like December, maybe January.
He may pull the Adrian Peterson. With the way science and medicine is nowadays, you never know. He may be ready. Well, not ready. He'll probably be ready toward the second half of the season, but not.
Yeah. Well, Adrian Peterson is that dude, an alien.
Right.
I don't know. That man bionic. Nobody come back.
What you think about the USFL? You been watching that?
You know what? I have not caught a game. I've been meaning to because I know it comes on Saturday.
Right.
But everything I keep hearing about it, it's really good.
I think it's good football. Yeah, it's good football to me. It's good football. I think the problem I hate is that if you're going to start a league, put it in the cities. Don't have it all in one place. So when you have all in one place, like today, they zoom in the crowd and it's like 12 people there, but the crowd is going crazy. You can tell it's pumped in crowd noise. So just put it in the cities. The cities love football, especially in those cities. But I think it's good football, though. It's good football.
Well, they tried. It's really hard. Like say Chicago. Every time a new league come out, they put a team in the city, Chicago. It's hard because that's a Bears town.
That's a Bears
town.
Hard.
It's hard to get behind another football team. That team always winds up dying. Even though it's a springtime and no Bears action is going, it's still Bears.
Right.
It's kind of hard. So for me, let's try, I don't know, obscure cities. Like they love football in Alabama. So let's try somewhere in Alabama.
Iowa. All the cities have professional teams. Right.
Yeah. Let's try teams that really, really, really love football.
Right.
Nebraska.
State.
Yeah, Nebraska. I mean, they even tried to put one in California.
California would support the Rams half the time.
Exactly.
The only reason they was out there with the Rams because they was winning.
Yeah. Now, before the Raiders moved to Vegas, they had a team in Vegas. They did pretty decent, but let's not get too crazy. Don't try to put a team in some place like North Dakota or something no. There's only 8 people in that state, so don't do it.
Right.
But let's try some outlier cities that really love football and take it from there.
True.
And we got the XFL coming up, so
yeah, I think that's
interesting.
Yeah, because The Rock has ownership in that, so his
him and his ex-wife.
Yeah. Rock fans gonna follow him, so that's probably gonna be a good look for The Rock.
Yeah, it will be. I think it was a good investment for him, because I think what happened with the XFL the second time around, because it was actually playing some pretty good football, and you was discovering some people, in the XFL, like, I didn't know about that guy. Who is that guy? Where he from?
Right.
But I think the second time around, it lost its credibility due to the first time it came out.
And they try to push it too fast.
Yeah, they could have waited.
Yeah, they try to hop on too fast, and to me, they messed up by trying to do that.
Yeah, because the way The Rock doing it now, he didn't bring it out too fast that he waited. You know, he gonna put a foundation in place. You know, build it up. And now with that partnership that he has with the NFL, that's even better. You know,
I agree.
You know, now you give the NFL a viable farm system, kind of. Although a farm system for football, you can do 1, 2, 3 years because it's football. It ain't like baseball.
I still think, though, I think that'll work, though. Like you say, the farm system, because the NFL needs something, man. They just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, because even like with the practice squad players, they need to go somewhere and do something else. You know what I'm saying? Besides just sitting there going against the ones and the ones or threes. Let those players in another league, or I'm saying improve and get it better for the next year. Because like the Bears,
exactly.
we always missing out on draft picks. Like feed them like a feeder league.
Yeah.
Like, when CPS, when all the good CPS teams, they got feeder programs.
Exactly. You know, I think, but the thing about the NFL, what that was, you had NFL Europe. You had a feeder system.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you shut it down. You shut it down, and then now you're talking about we need a good feeder system. And now you playing games, regular season games overseas. This year, Germany, Mexico City, of course, London. I'm like, then why did you shut down NFL Europe?
Because now they want to try to capitalize on all that money and put a professional team over there. It's about the money. NFL Europe probably wasn't bringing money, but that put one professional team in the right spot, then more money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they love their football in Germany, but that was a talk of it about them actually putting an NFL team in London, and I was like, how would that go? Right. Logistic wise, like, okay, you're gonna put them over there. You got to schedule them flying back and forth, division. What if they got a top flight record? Then now you got playoff games over there. Man, it's just too much.
Right.
If they put one team over there, they probably would have to do 4 teams total, make that a whole division, just to cut down on all that travel back and forth.
Right. And that's like going to the West Coast spots like Cali or New York.
Oh yeah, that is crazy. So I'm glad they still probably trying to figure that out, but leave that alone because that's too much. Because these young kids, when they get drafted, they want their families to be able to come see them play. That's a lot of money for them to have to come over to London and watch somebody play.
Right,
and then the time difference.
Right.
And that time difference is a killer.
Because while they playing, it'd be every game over there be night games just to accommodate the time over here.
Right, and which is their games over there at night would be 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Exactly.
I'm like, man, nobody want to get up that early to watch football. I'm cool with 12 and 4 or 3, but 8:30, 9 o'clock, man.
Right.
On a Sunday, that's rough. I mean, only church folks would probably be watching because they be up that early.
What you think about? Let's just transition over to college. What do you think about the state of college football right now?
You know what? I've been reading articles after articles, and everything's been focused on the NIL deals.
Right.
And they've been saying how it's going to destroy college football. And I'm like, you know what? Get the F out of here. You've been making millions and millions of dollars off these kids for a very long time. And then making them ineligible because they may accept a free gift from somebody. or
Big Mac.
right, a Big Mac, a tattoo, an autograph or something. Oh, you're ineligible. Okay, that's BS. Because you can sell their jerseys, get the money. They don't, but they're the product. They putting their health at risk, because this is what they're trying to do as a profession. And we've seen many kids get hurt. NFL draft stock is, man, garbage because they got hurt. They missing out on millions because they was playing for you, and now you on a trip.
Yeah. I think it's actually, I think it's good for the game. Like when I was I played college football. So when I was in college, I did a paper saying this in the 90s, saying that I felt college football players should be paid just for the wear and tear we put our bodies through. I played 1 year at NAIA at Trinity, under Leslie Frazier and all that. Played with 2 teammates that actually got drafted. 2 or 3 that actually played in the NFL. Then I played the 3-4 years at McMurray College in Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we used to go through like hell, like the summer, we had then 3 days. Like people don't do that. Well, we waking up at 7 in the morning, practice started at 7:30. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be there. So just the banging, the wear and tear on the bodies, man, any level, whether it's NAIA or D1, D2, D3, it's crazy. And you got to do it on top and go to class. And people don't, in some cases, like I had some good coaches, but in some cases, some of the coaches only really care about is the winning. So they don't care if you go to class or not. Just be at practice and make sure we win on Saturday. So
exactly.
I felt like you got to compensate these kids. Because somebody get hurt, you can easily snatch their scholarship and give it to the next man. Now they out in the cold. So
exactly. But they don't talk about that part. Like, man get hurt, you take his scholarship.
Yeah.
Like you can finish out this semester, but after this, you got to figure it out.
You have to figure it out.
Like, oh man, you took their education and you messed them up.
Right. That's why I love the transfer portal because if you're gonna play them both, give them a chance to get up out of that. That's why I love what Deion Sanders is doing for HBCUs because he'll tell you, he advertised, he recruiting over there, he using social media. If the big Power 5 don't want you, we'll take you. And I love that.
Yeah, he been snatching people from the Power 5s.
Yeah.
And they don't like it.
No,
they don't like it. And I'm like,
that's that farm system where they think that it's not right if anybody else outside of those big schools get those players. That's why everybody went crazy when that one Travis Hunter committed to him.
Yeah. Man. They like, oh my God, how'd he do it? I'm like, they better watch him. Right. You better watch yourself. They're going to come get him. Right. And it's like, they looking for any excuse now to be like, look what he doing. And I'm like, and the crazy part about it, it's not going to be the Power 5s. It's going to be the other ones, the HBCUs that's going to try to bring them down.
Right.
Because, and that's a shame. They could all just learn from them, benefit from it, and work together, right. To build up their conference and their region. Because, man, I was looking at the history. Back then, 70s, 80s, they was drafting a lot of players out of HBCUs.
Correct. Like 20-30% of the NFL Hall of Fame is from HBCU.
Yeah, and I'm like, Dad, what happened? What happened? Because I remember Grambling players even being drafted in the 90s, late 80s. Yeah. And now you don't even hear Grambling name
no, because everybody now became the big push for people to go to the Power 5s, and then they left the HBCUs out in the cold. Then the big coaches like Eddie Robinson started to pass away, and then nobody was replacing them until now. Recently, until Deion Sanders, and he started pushing and putting them back out there like that. Yeah, because you remember when Steve McNair was coming out, most teams were trying to say he could be a bust, or most teams were saying like he don't understand the game because why? He came from HBCU, but he was one of the best quarterbacks ever played.
Yeah. it's tragic what happened to him.
Yeah,
But
tragic.
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, he had Alcorn State on the map.
exactly.
You know,
On
it's like
ESPN.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, and like I said, I like what Dion doing down there at Jackson State. I know Eddie George has an HBCU.
Tennessee
He
State.
coaching
Yeah,
at
TSU.
Tennessee State. Matter of fact, a couple of NFL, few nice name NFL players
Tyrone Wheatley
came
was
from
at
Tennessee State.
yeah, and Tyrone Wheatley was over at was it Morgan State, but then he left and went back to a assistant coach somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah, speaking of him, his son just got cut from the Bears.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
son is the offensive tackle. I'm like,
Right.
Ty Jr. I'm like, he was one of my favorite running backs in Michigan. I was like,
beast with the ball in his hand, he blocking. Right?
oh my God, dude. I was talking to my brother. I was like, man, we that old that we watch people get drafted. Now we watching their sons play. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's wild. I'm like, I remember when his dad played, and it's funny because I heard Jerry Rice had a son. He was on the Redskins, never saw him play.
Right.
Montana's son, Nate, that dude was a trouble child. He kept getting arrested. He didn't get played.
Privilege.
Randy Moss' son is a tight end, big kid. He played for LSU.
He's in
a couple of years ago.
Bengals right now.
Is he? Because I know he was with the Redskins.
Yeah, he was on the team that made the Super Bowl.
And that's good because I'm like, Randy Moss, your dad.
Yeah, he got the whole.
He probably showed you. He probably showed you some things about catch radius and body positioning.
Right.
And it's kind of like you said, it's kind of hard when you got to live up to your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they know
you. Payton, no, he couldn't.
I was just finna say him. I'm like, I watched him play in Miami. Yeah. He looked nice. Yeah. But your dad is Walter Payton, so
he just couldn't do it.
He could not. I mean, it was like it's hard to live up to that. Really it is. I'm like, why would you want to choose football? Because your dad, the people expect when they see you and whose son you are, they expect you to perform like that.
Right.
And I'm like, rarely that's the case. I'm like, that is not the case.
Because you try basketball, look at Michael Jordan kids. His kids is
oh man.
The youngest one had game, honestly.
But it's still it's Michael Jordan's son.
Michael Jordan. You gotta live up to that Michael Jordan name.
Like, man, I would have chose acting.
Yeah.
I was like, because as soon as you put the ball in your hand, they want to see you do all sorts of things. Like, no. That's why I'm like, I don't know if LeBron James' son Bronny gonna be able to handle that pressure and live up to that name. LeBron James. This is Bronny.
That's why he doesn't go by Junior, and he just changed his name to Bronny. LeBron actually, I'll be watching his show on The Shot. He actually touched on that. He was saying how his son his real name is LeBron James Jr., but he chose to try to make his own name, and that's why he goes by Bronny. Because he knows it'd be hard to live up to that name, LeBron James Jr.
Oh, my man, sorry, we're back. Y'all know Uncle Puzz internet be tripping, be killing me. Anyway, that was my guy Ernest. Went to high school with him, played high school ball with him. So he's known Uncle Puzz since he was a teenager. So this is before he became Uncle Pudge. He was straight Telly Jackson. So that was good, man. We're going to get up out of here. I appreciate him coming through. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Jody, I know you were there. And no, they should not put the Jets and Jaguars in the XFL. That would be no good. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to everybody in the Family Tree family. Tune in, the Impact Fridays. We're, all the other shows. Real Talk Tuesday. Saturday morning barbecue, Family Talk, Let's Discuss It. We had our season finales. So we all for the season. But the Endgame podcast will be popping up in and out with news and everything in the sports world. So thank you all for supporting us. Thank you guys for supporting me. It's my first time doing a show by myself. Let me know how I did, what can I improve on, and what you like. Until then, until next time, remember, who loves you, baby? Peace.